Welcome. This week we're going over lessons 133 through 136. Can you believe it, guys? One more week. And this week it's all about reviews and assessments. Should be a short and sweet little overview video. Let's go see what materials will be needed and we'll get started. This week you will need the end of the year assessment number 1 and number 2. These are found at the back of the child's workbook. Your dry erase board, the math card game book, an abacus. It's considered optional, but it would probably be good to have. Your basic number card deck, the corner cards, your multiplication card deck, and your money cards. I probably should have put the child's workbook on materials you'll need, since you're going to need to get the assessment from the back of it. Lesson 133, Numbers and Operations in Base 10 Assessment. These titles get to be a little lengthy. Anyway, it's real basic. This is the assessment of what you've done the previous week. So you had a review, then you reviewed with games. So now it's time for the assessment. Allow them to use the abacus if they need it, but ask them to try it first without the abacus. If by chance you should have a printing with the date of 6/16/15, like June 16th, 2015, you'll see that at the front of your teacher's manual, the very front. We did this a while back, but just in case. So right here, you can see that I have June of 20. As long as yours is after June of 2015, the correction for number 8 will already be in your book. But if not, remember, you go to writestartmath.com, click on resources, click on teaching support, go down to corrections, and you'll see what you need to correct. And then just a reminder that the child's workbook, you open it up to the back. It's after all these practice warm-up things. You'll say assessment, and it'll have all the assessments in there for you. Lesson 134, Operations and Algebraic Thinking Review. Algebraic thinking. You don't realize that they're doing algebraic type work at these younger levels, but they are. Now remember, this is a review, so there's places in here that will show if they struggle, like this concept's taught in lesson 94, or where is it? This concept is taught in 95 and then 97. So those are the 3 areas where we're focusing on. This lesson calls for the dry erase board, but if you happen to have your part whole circle set in a page protector, you can use that also. There is a correction in the warm-up on this lesson, but it will only affect those of you that have a print date of March 17th and earlier, or really earlier than, so like February 17th and earlier. It was corrected in March of 2017. Again, if they need to use the abacus, let them use the abacus, but really try to get them to answer these without the abacus. Let the abacus kind of be one of those last resources. Lesson 135, Operations and Algebraic Thinking Games. So just like last week where you played a bunch of games, guess what? You have a bunch of games again this week. There are 5 different games. The focus of these games is on subtraction and money. These are all games that have been played before. Remember, if you have a 4-day school week, you have that extra day. So you could split these games up. You really could split these games up all week if you want, so you don't feel like you have to play all the games in one day. I think that might be a little bit overwhelming personally, but I don't know. You may like it. Your kids may like it. That's okay. But no, it's okay to spread it out also. Last lesson for this week, lesson 136, operations and algebraic thinking assessment. Hopefully between the review and the game review, your child will do well with this. If you find your children are struggling, it's okay to stop and go back and do some more review. Also know that a lot of this will also get covered more in level C. And if you decide to take a break between going from level B into level C, then you can use that time to work on these areas that were a little bit harder for your child. All right, we're done for this week. One more week left. You guys are doing awesome. Keep persevering. You're almost there. I hope your week goes well. I hope your kiddos do great. Join me next week as we go over lessons 137 through 140, the very end of this level. Until then.